groundbreaking, Grace is so excited for this, groundbreaking UFO video was just released by the Chilean Navy. And first of all, not only did the Chilean Navy, did they capture this footage, and we're about to watch it, but then they gave that footage to the CEFAA, which is the Chilean government agency which investigates UFOs and UAPs, which is unidentified aerial phenomenon. They were in charge of the investigation for 2 years. And now that they've completed the investigation, and we'll tell you what they found within the investigation, now that they've released this footage to the public. So let's watch what they found. So that's it's an
infrared.
That's an infrared camera, but it is a 9-minute video. That's a portion of the video where they see that this unidentified object is expelling some sort
releasing
of
a gas.
Gas, and they believe that, and it released it twice. The first gas was lighter in color, and because it's an infrared camera, one was lighter in color, the other one was darker, so you know that it's hotter the second time. And they believe that it's gas and not liquid because liquid would have fallen. And then also some really other interesting things about the conclusion, because what they said is they can't conclude what it is, but they conclude what it wasn't. So they said here, first of all, there was no radar. Like, it did not get picked up by any radar, and it was within the same like zone and field where it would have been picked up by radar. Number two, they also said that that the thermal signal, right, that plume, they've never seen any sort of flying object expel that plume, unless it was like waste, but then again, that would have immediately fallen. And then they also said that they checked with different meteorologists. Were there any hot air balloons?
Were there any aliens
Were
that
there
day?
any hot air balloons in the vicinity during that day? No, there weren't. They talked to both within the traffic controller. There weren't any civilian or military aircrafts that were allowed to fly within that zone or were even within that zone that day, let alone if they were, it would have showed up on the radar. And then finally, they tried to find out if it was a drone, even though it didn't match like the way that a drone would have flown, and there's drone regulations. It would have had to been able to get permission to go within this fly zone, but they checked with the military, they checked with the Chilean Navy, nothing was flown within that area at that time, at that day. So they're really, the conclusion, they're scratching them damn heads. They don't know what it is. Thoughts, 5 words or less?
Greetings, Earthlings. Enjoy these chemtrails.
UFO? Nah.
These are obviously aliens. Case closed.
I want to meet aliens. I have a really good feeling that when we do connect and contact with aliens, that it's going to be, what is wrong?
Right.
We're out of
It's going to
sugar.
be better.
We're like,
No,
we're out of sugar on our planet. Can we borrow some? That's what they're going to do.
I honestly think.
Yeah, do you have eggs? Can we just, sorry, we're out of eggs on our planet.
Speculating, but I think over the centuries and thousands of years that they've been a pivotal help, and I think that they're more empathetic than us, and I think that
they have already been a pivotal help.
I'm sure.
I think that
I know
they have
all the
helped.
reasons.
I think that there has been contact in the past, because if you look at like certain hieroglyphics or certain Sanskrit drawings, they do show saucer-like figures, and they do show contact. This is me speculating. This is I too like a good conspiracy theory. But I do think that if they come and they connect with us, I think that they're gonna, if you watched Arrival, I think it's gonna be something similar to that, where it's, spoiler alert, I think that they're gonna come and they're gonna help us, and they're gonna have more empathy than we do.
Before they kill Amy.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that.
No, you're such a good person, because I think, okay, look. First of all, Sam, you make really good points about that we've made contact many years before. And
maybe. I like to believe we did.
But,
I like to believe we did.
You know, every time there is a UFO sighting or things of that nature, I mean, I've seen Independence Day. I've seen every, alien movie where they come to Earth and they try to wipe us out. My thing is, why are UFOs just flying around in the sky and not landing their spaceship, not finally making contact with us in real time? It's so bizarre to me. And then also this phenomenon of unexplained flying object sightings just gets dumber and dumber to me. But look, I do hope, seriously, I do hope that I do not think that we are alone in this universe. I do not think that. And I do hope that when aliens do finally descend upon the Earth and greet us, they look something like Alf. Or maybe, or...
No, Alf eats cats! Alf eats cats!
Yeah, but to survive.
Okay.
But also...
He needs to.
That's okay.
He needs to.
I think Brett has a point, though, too, that they're not going to come and be like, hey, homie, can I borrow like, your toothpaste?
No, I think they're going to help us, and it might be self-serving because they might need our help, so they're helping us to help them, but I do think that they're going to help us.
Here's my theory of what happened in that video with the release of UFO gas. is that there's a hilarious alien who doesn't have to come into American to the Earth's atmosphere because they were able to travel so far at speeds exceeding light or through some kind of wormhole that they probably also have the technology to be far away and still study us, right? This one thought it would be hilarious to release a bunch of fart gas into the atmosphere. So they were like, all right, we're gonna zoom in, we're gonna hover. We'll pick Chile, because like the Chilean Navy. No one's even gonna believe that they have a Navy. Sorry, Chile. But I'm gonna sit there off of the, some satellite in the Andes is just gonna look at us and just watch as we just drop a fart.
If it's an infrared satellite, because that's what they said was interesting too, that normally, typically you would not see that plume because it mixes with the clouds and actually dissipated into the clouds. Because the helicopter, the Navy helicopter, had this infrared camera, you were clearly able to see the plume because of the heat of the energy.
Right.
Okay, I really wanted to believe this.
You don't?
I don't. I mean, I do and I don't. Here's the thing. There was a hoax that came out of Chile like 2 years ago. So it's a little convenient that this would also be from
was the
Chile.
hoax from the from the Navy? The Chilean Navy?
It wasn't from the Navy, but it was from,
This is the
it was from
Navy!
like a research institute. And it was, it's not
research
proven to
institute.
Be, it's not proven to be a hoax, but it's just a little weird. That's something that I read, that it's a little strange that both of them are from Chile. Like, why are the aliens, like, why aren't they coming to
This
the
is
US?
a government agency. That's a little bit different.
Right,
but okay.
right. That's fair. That's fair. But it's worth noting that there has been a hoax from this area, or some people are speculating that it's a hoax. And then also, I think that given the weather conditions on that day, radar wasn't actually working for a number of different military stations. So it wasn't weird that radar wasn't working just on that plane. It was the weather conditions were not.
But the helicopter,
conducive.
it said that within that time frame, like that helicopter was popping up on the radar. So it was, and they were only a matter of yards away. So why would that helicopter, the Navy helicopter, pick up on radar and then not them?
I'm just saying what other things I read.
know,
I think that it is
The
more
more Grace
likely-
talks, the more I think it's aliens.
The Navy too. I guess the helicopter pilot tried to communicate.
I think it was.
And
I think it was
they got nothing
probably a
back.
spy plane from another country that shouldn't have been where they were, and they were testing out some spy plane.
So they
fart
risk getting
gas.
shut down. So they risk getting shot down.
Okay.
I don't, for some reason.
This was controlled airspace.
It was-
And why did it-
I always want to believe. I don't think I can believe this one.
Me neither. And why? Okay, and with all the technology and with all the advancements and everything we have at our disposal to intercept said flying saucer, why hasn't that happened? You know, like
It has to a lot of people. It has happened. If you read accounts from a number of
And
people,
I agree with that.
They
And
have.
every one of the
I'm
aliens
talking
is a
about-
gentle lover.
There's been a number of people that have been high up too within that have worked at Area 54 and on their deathbed have come out saying what they know. So
50,
I don't
54,
know.
51.
Area 51. Oh, that's clever.
Studio 54.
But the
Studio
Chilean-
Studio 54.
The Chilean-
Area 51.
Crazy
Amazing.
aliens
Amazing.
at the club.
I love it. I love
he gave
that.
you hanging tough. You tough enough.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Oh my God, hanging tough. That's
Yeah.
funny too. Wow, New Kids on the Block. That's hilarious.
Please don't go, girl.
But what was I going to say really quick? Also, they noticed that the energy field was different. There's just a lot of differences here. Yes, it could have been some other government that was testing out some unidentified object that we don't know about. But we also have to realize that there's a lot out there, and there's a lot that we don't know. And I think always question authority and always just keep your
Believe
mind open. And
aliens.
I believe that they're going to be empathetic and kind.
Yes.
And I
Here
wanna
on
meet
Pop's
you.
Trigger, we think.
And
they're
I
gonna be
do think I
awesome.
had a.
Sam's an alien.
Remember when
Hashtag Sam's an alien.
somebody made a video of me a while ago when I was on? Was I in Dr. Drew or CNN? They said I was a
Alien?
a reptilian.
A reptile.
Because they said that my eyes shape shifted during one segment.
There should be slits on your neck if you are.
Am I reptilian?
Is that
Well,
from
you're
V?
conveniently covered by the collar. So
Wait, why would there be
interpret that as
slits on your neck
because
if
you
you're
have
a
to rip it off.
reptilian?
That's what I mean. That's
Oh.
a video that I definitely
Oh.
didn't watch.
But
I thought it was like gills. I'm like, that's fish.
No, it's a mask. She should be wearing a mask.
I don't know if I'm reptilian. I don't think I'm
I've
reptilian.
never touched your face before. Feels real.
Grace
I can't
also
believe
a
I allowed you to
reptilian.
touch my face.
I
I
know.
usually don't like people touching my face.
Well, you knew that because you knew that your mask is really good, so that you had to prove on
not wearing
camera.
no mask.
This is the only possible explanation. I
It's
agree.
the only possible.
Only explanation.
All right. I'm reptilian. You heard it here first. Okay, please. Oh, don't, you guys. Stop, Brett. How do we know that they're bad?
can do
fine,
a
I'll
good-
own it. Maybe they're
Yeah.
good, empathetic people.
I think they're gonna
Reptilians?
come and wipe us all out, and it's a wrap. Seriously.
What if it's a club and this whole thing, all of our Earth has been set up as like a test to see if we're cool enough to join the alien club?
I'll join because I'm
Yeah.
the one that's celebrating them.
I don't want to be
They're the one
probed
that's gonna.
either.
It's gonna be. They're gonna invite me, and you guys won't be invited. And that's
Oh,
what's
way to
gonna
give us the
happen.
rap signal, Amir. Reptilian alien.
All
Lives
right,
in the hollow
please-
earth.
Amir's like, they know too much. Wrap it up.
Yeah, Amir, what's your thoughts, really quick,
On what?
on
UFOs,
this video
aliens.
and the possibility?
I think there's aliens out there. I don't think this is a show.
Okay, so
What the fuck
if-
am I watching in this video? It's just like a black spot in the
First
middle
of all,
of a white screen.
First of all, it's a 9-minute video. We will include the link. What we showed you is a little portion. I highly suggest you watch the 9 minutes.
They studied that for 2 years? Come on. 2 years.
Well,
Seems to still be a black spot that farts.
Brett!
I guess it hasn't changed.
Brett, no! They ended up calling people.
We're the
did
Navy.
you have about drones? They ended up calling about the meteorologists and the
Right.
weather balloons.
3 days. I make those calls in 3 days max, including time waiting for them to get back
And
to
then
me.
they just party the rest of the time.
And then I'm like, oh, Chile.
Yeah, we're gonna need more funding.
Must football. Yep, so we get the funding next year. We got to spend it the next 2 years.
Okay, all right. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you believe it? If you don't believe this video, do you believe that there's aliens and that they exist? Have you had any experiences? Have you seen a UFO? Have you been abducted? There was one time when I slept and I felt like I felt a bony finger.
Did you?
back.
Were you
But
probed?
no,
Go
I
back
was,
to bed, Mark. Go back to
I
bed.
was a kid. And
A bony finger. Okay, a bony
Yeah,
finger.
go to sleep. What do I
was
keep
a
telling
kid.
you?
I was a kid and I woke up from my REM
Way to
sleep
make it
early and I
pervy.
was paralyzed and I felt a bony finger. It was my mind. It was scary. Anyways, please share your thoughts. We want to know your stories. And we'll see you
Hashtag
next time
repressed
on-
memories.
on Pop